What's going on, YouTube? So I'm back and I showed you guys this EQ in a post and I got real lucky to find something locally that was inexpensive and something I haven't seen before. When I saw it online, I noticed just the buttons, it kind of had that Alpine look to it, and that's what made me kind of stop and look at it. Then I noticed the display maybe had some LEDs that would bounce around, but I didn't really realize the condition it was in until I picked it up. But yeah, let's take a closer look. Let's bring it over. I think it looks pretty cool. Now it's really dirty. In this video, we're gonna clean this up. We're also gonna check if it even works, because I haven't even done that. So I'm going to try to capture just how dirty it is, but it's kind of hard to do that. And as you can see, I believe this lights up, dances around. And I haven't seen this model or brand before. Back in the day, I didn't really see this. So maybe you guys did, but Fultron, I googled that, and yeah, it's been around for a while, or at least it was. I believe the company is still around, but they no longer do car audio. But yeah, they used to, I guess, have an okay name for themselves. I'm just showing you guys the condition this thing's in. Here's the back. This one side of the RCA says high imp in, so high input in. It's got a CD input. I believe that's a 3.5 millimeter jack. And that's a subwoofer output. So this is a powered EQ. That's what the back looks like. And let's see here. What do these RCA say? Left rear signal out. So you didn't have to use the amplifier part of this EQ. You could just use the EQ part and send the signal to your amp. So that's pretty cool. And here's the front. Hopefully you guys can read that. I'm not sure if you can. But yeah, it says FR signal out. Here's the bottom. Memphis, Tennessee. Wow. Model 16-0740. Okay. And I see a price of $40 written there. I'd paid less. And hopefully this EQ works. But if it doesn't, that's okay, because I didn't pay much. So yeah, I'm very happy that I found this guy. This is very cool. This is a blast from the past. Here's some fins, cooling fins. They're aluminum. They're on both sides. Very cool. And someone had stuck some Velcro. I'm guessing they didn't want to make any holes anywhere, so they just stuck it somewhere. But yeah, we're gonna also try to open this up. I want to show you the guts for one, but there's some rust back here, as you can see. And I'm not sure if that's just a surface thing or if there's actually rust inside. And if, you know, that's the case, I'm going to try to clean it up. And just so it gives it a better chance of working. But yeah, let's, where should we start with this? Should we clean up the outside? Like, let's try to do that. And then we'll go on the inside, see what that looks like. Look at those screws. So I started pulling them out, and they all pretty much looked like they were cross-threaded, just shoved back in. So that's not good. And this is the EQ. And let me show you this. Isn't that funny? Right there. Speaker wire. And it's glued into position. And that's holding the RCAs. So this thing has been used a lot, and I believe they were having an issue with the RCA input, and yeah, they decided to firm things up and glue some speaker wire to hold that RCA input onto the board just a little better. Now, I have poked at this a little bit. I already shot some video of me looking at the inside of this EQ and powered this thing up. But let me tell you what happened here. So it's got two black wires, one that's solid black and the other that's got a stripe on it, right? Stripe and black. So when I shot the video the first time, I showed what you're looking at now, and closed it up, cleaned it up, closed it up, and went to power it with my power supply here. And I used the all black wire to ground it. And all that it did was give me a really light, dim light. So the graphic EQ barely lit up and would fade away, and the buttons didn't light up. And so I took it to the test bench, and the EQ again barely lit up, buttons didn't light up, and there was no sound. When I did hook up the RCAs, I could kind of see the graphic display moving around, but it would phase away really quick. So after that, I decided to open it back up and try to see where these black wires went. So I looked at the board, and long story short, if you follow both wires to the board, each, for example, here's one of them right there. Not sure if you guys can see that, but there's a ground wire right there where the hook tool is at, and on the bottom of that board, the board is marked ground, and that wire is the black and white stripe wire. The other all black wire, again, I followed it to the board, and that on the board says ground also. So I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna use them both and see what happens. So again, long story short, one of the grounds is for the amplifier side of the EQ, and the other is for the electronic or lighting side of the EQ. And once I used them both, the EQ turned on normally. So I'm going to show you a little bit of the guts here so you guys can see what's inside, and then we're going to power this up and go from there. So this is the inside of the EQ, and yeah, that's when I opened this up, I didn't expect to see this much wiring inside of this EQ. And it's got this little speaker. This speaker is what makes the sound when you move around the EQ settings or push a button. But yeah, no caps look blown. Nothing on the board looks like it's burnt. Just a lot of spaghetti wiring I can't imagine trying to, build this thing back in the day. It must have taken a long time to produce something like this. And here's the bottom half. And someone's been in here, like I mentioned. Someone scratched away at that green coating on the board, and you can see the copper trace. Here's some wiring. I'm not sure if those are jumpers that were already a part of the EQ or if they were made. But again, this must have been a tough one to produce back in the day. There's a lot of stuff on this board. Again, the top half. Alright, so I got this all wired up. And again, I'm using both the grounds on the EQ. And just so you guys know, that orange wire is just a backup wire, or the memory wire, just like any normal car radio. And let's turn this on. I'm going to turn this light off. Ain't that cool? Brings back so many memories. I love the way this looks. I really enjoyed that graphic EQ jump around when it turned on. Yeah, this thing is cool. And that little speaker, I'm going to show you guys what it sounds like. You guys hear that? That's crazy. So you can turn it up and turn it down and it'll beep. And as you turn it up and turn it down, the LED changes color. So that's very cool. Alright, so we got this far with it. The next step is to install it on the test bench and see what it sounds like. It's hooked up. Now, I did hook up one of the speaker wires just to see if it was working. And yeah, let's listen to it. But yeah, this is going to be a YouTube approved song, so not the best of songs, but YouTube friendly. So here we go. Ain't that cool? Now, as you can see, when I play around with this cover, something's going on. I'm not too sure, but it works, and the sound that it's making is unreal. Old is gold. I'm not sure what it is about old school amplifiers, but they sound so good. It's hard to explain until you're listening to one of them yourself. But yeah, I'm just surprised how well or how good this sounds like. What I'm gonna do next is try another side just to make sure everything works. So as I mentioned, I got one of the channels connected, and it's the gray with blue. I'm going to try the other side, which is the red and gray. So let's see what happens with that. Hopefully everything works. So I think this is front and back as far as speaker wires. So you got yellow and you got gray. And this other side here has what I believe are subwoofer speaker wires. I already hooked the other channel up, so we'll see if the other side's working. Yes. Very nice. Okay, so what I'm gonna do next is hook up both left and right. The song is playing. Yes. Very cool. So as you saw, I hit the top of that cover, and sometimes it'll make a better connection on whatever is going on inside there, but I guess I could eventually poke at it and get that to work properly, but I'm just happy that this is working as good as it is. This is an old piece of equipment. It just goes to show a lot about that old school gear. But I do find myself hesitating to buy older equipment just because of its age. You know that on that board, all those caps are degrading, and eventually something's gonna fail. But I got real lucky and bought this Fultron old school EQ for dirt cheap, and it works. It works. So both channels work left and right, and I only tested the gray wires on the front and rear, what I believe are front and rear. I guess I could try the subwoofer, what I believe are subwoofer wires, see if they work. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to hook up some RCAs to this side and then see if any sound comes out of these guys. I plugged in the RCAs for the subwoofer side. Now, I'm not too sure if they're ins or outs, but yeah, when I plugged the subwoofer side in, just look how loose that RCA plug is. It is loose, so hopefully it works. Again, I don't know if that's an out or an in. We're about to find out. This is an in. CD in. I'm guessing that must be an in. That would only make sense to me and only because this other side has these, what I believe are speaker wires too. So again, well, we're about to find out. So here we go. And no, I believe it's not doing anything, which is no surprise. Like I said, I think there's something wrong there, and or that's an out versus an in. So let me turn this off. Okay, I've been working on it a little bit, and RCAs are running to the epicenter, and that's hooked up to the bass amp. And check this out. This is the sub gain. And it works. Unreal. So I'm not too sure what this green and gray wires do on this side of the EQ. So maybe if you guys know what they do, let me know. I'm afraid to mess with these now because I'm surprised that the EQ even works this much. But yeah, this subwoofer RCA setup on the right side is an out versus an in. The subwoofer gain is a little, I guess, scratchy in a way, and sometimes it'll cut out, so you kind of have to wiggle it back and forth. So that could use a cleaning, and that probably will fix that. But as far as the rest of it, this thing works, and I am so surprised that it does, because yeah, it was dirt cheap, and it was local to me. A blast from the past, a Fultron powered EQ that still works. Alright guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, there's more to come, and I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.